So let's talk about this. This is such a major topic. I get so many questions about the music and everything that I play, and you could easily tell somebody to go download some music, go to, a record pool. But if they don't know how to do this, none of that matters. None of that matters. So I want to take a second and create a video that talks about how to read the room. Now, I think when people hear how to read the room, I think they initially think, like, while they're up there DJing, see who's dancing. That's not the way that I read a room. The way I read a room starts from the ceremony. I mean, everything is analyzed by me. Okay. And before we even start, I know I'm going to get people in the comments to say, man, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been doing blah, 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 blah. So let me preface this in saying, this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. This is just how I do it. So when the ceremony starts, I look at all the guests. I look at every single guest. I go from row to row to row to row to row. And I look at guests. I say, okay, is this a younger crowd? Is this a 30 and up crowd? Is this an older crowd? How many guests are near the couple's age? That's going to warrant more of the music that they selected, because, in these meetings, I'm always asking what type of music your guests like. I'm not asking the bride and groom what type of music they like, because I'll play a couple of songs from them, but it's more for the guests. What do your guests like? So already in the ceremony, I'm scoping my crowd. I'm looking to see what I can possibly take a risk on. Is this going to be more of a pop night, an oldies night, a hip hop night? What is it going to be? I'll give you for instance, this past weekend, my bride had a ton of people that were her age, a ton. She probably had about 15% of the people who were older, who were her parents' age. Everybody else was her age and down, and they love to party, as you saw. So I knew that the music that they had selected for their guests was going to warrant a lot of people probably getting on the dance floor. All I had to do was mix it well. So from the ceremony, I then go to cocktail hour. I have put together a cocktail hour list that kind of gives you a little bit of everything. I want to see who's singing along with it, who's moving, shaking a little bit. That means you probably already had a couple of drinks, or you're happy to be there. You're just excited that you're there. Whatever. I then look at the people who are dancing, singing, or whatever during dinner to the music that I'm playing. I do this because I have a variety of music that I play during dinner. This is how I begin to read the room. All of these steps help me get to the point where when we start dancing, I'm like, cool. I know that I can play this group of songs and there'll be a good amount of people to do this. I've only been fooled a few times. Like if I don't see anybody dancing or moving or singing, I've only been fooled to where people don't come out. There's been a couple of gig laws. I think the one where I put my worst fear, they almost tricked me. Because they were dancing. A couple of people were kind of singing and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, as soon as I play the music, they're going to come out. And as soon as I started playing the music, nobody came out. Nobody moved. And I was like, wow. So I'm not saying that this is foolproof. I'm not saying that this is the way you should do it. I'm just saying the majority of the times that I have done it, it has worked. The majority. And that group that I talked about that didn't come out initially, it ended up still being a party. It was just people had to get out of their own way. And sometimes that might be your case. People need to get out of their own way. That could be it. However, the music and the style that you play in could also play a part too. If you mix quickly, if you stay in songs too long, if all these things play a factor in whether or not people are going to dance and dance for a long time. And the object of the night is to get them to stay in the moment, to stay on the floor. If you want to take a break, you're going to use the bathroom. You're going to come back out to the floor. You want to take a break, you're going to go to the bar, and you're going to come back. Your music has to be that. Your music has to be the soundtrack for the entire night. So reading the floor, reading the room comes with not just having a packed dance floor, not just making a packed dance floor. It just comes with studying the people as they arrive, as people are walking into the ceremony. Look at who took a chance on their outfit. That means they're probably risk takers. They want to be seen. All of these things play a part. All of these things. Talk to people as you walk through. You know, if you're walking through a crowd, if you're walking through cocktail hour, if you're walking through dinner and you hear a couple of people be like, man, I can't wait to dance. Keep an eye on them. People will give you hints as to what they want from the evening. People will give you hints as to what type of night it's going to be. Look at how busy the bar is. That can also dictate your night. Reading the room doesn't just have to do with the dance floor. Reading the room has to do with people's movement, people's motives, people's style. It has to do with all of that. Now, I know that sounds like a whole lot, but what else are you doing during this time? What else are you doing while you're waiting to get people on the dance floor? Or while you're waiting to open up the dance floor? What else are you doing? Why not study? That's what I've done. I've made it a point to study. It has brought nothing but success to do so, because you just don't want to go out there and play what you think is going to work. And then people look at you like, what's this guy doing? So reading a room really comes with a lot of the time prior to getting to the dance floor. It doesn't just come with the dance floor. There's a lot of different variables that you can look at to know what type of night you're going to have. I'll give you one more example. In April, I did a wedding at the same venue I'm going to be at this weekend. And when they allowed people to come out for dinner and they opened up my area, which was outside on the back pad, and you had to come down the stairs. All the parents of the bride and groom came down first, and all of them were dancing, like just to music that I had playing at that moment. They were already dancing. Now, whether or not they had a drink, whether or not, they had already just been feeling it, or they're just outgoing in general, I don't know that. But they started dancing immediately. So from that moment on, I just kept an eye on them. And it looked like every song that I was playing, they were like, yep. Oh yeah. This guy's, yeah. And that's the kind of feeling that you want to get. Cause now you know that when you play your opening dance set, which everybody usually has, it's going to kill. At least mom and them are going to be out there. Guess who's paying you? Mom and dad. So that's what I'm saying, man. Just pay attention. And look, if you don't agree with me, I understand why you don't agree with me, because you probably do it another way. But I find that this way is the most effective way. Leave me comments and everything down below. Let me know what you guys think. How do you read a room? Do you read it differently than I do? Do you have a strategy? If you do have a strategy, let other people know, because this may work for me and might not work for anybody else watching this video. But it would be great to know some other strategies. I just think that this one is a very effective one. So let me know that down in the comments.